All right. Coming up here close to noon, you are listening to the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. And that sound means this part of the show brought to you by the GCI guys at Realty One Group, and my man Lee Goldberg, a former TV sportscaster, now wants to be on your home team, buying, selling, renting. Talk to the GCI guys. They'll save you some money. All the listeners get $1,000 in your hand at closing. And if you're a hero, a veteran, a military, police, fire, teacher, or nurse, you're getting $2,000 back at closing. Work in the hospitality casino industry, also getting $2,000 back. Talk to the GCI guys. Their number, 702-902-3029. Or if you want, you can call or text Lee right now himself. He will answer that phone, 702-902-3029. Check them out at thegciguys.com. So there's this crazy story. I guess maybe you shouldn't call it crazy because perhaps you shouldn't be surprised. We know that MMA fighter Conor McGregor has been in the news before, and Conor McGregor has been arrested before. He's had his issues with the law, similar to in a sense to the way Floyd Mayweather has. But TMZ broke a story last night on Conor McGregor, and there's a video out, and I want Mike Babcock, who is gracious enough to join us every week and joins us right now from TMZ Sports, to talk about this story because it is a huge one and it is a national story. Mike, first of all, thanks for coming on, my man. How you doing? Good morning.
What's up, Brian? This is strange for me. I'm sitting at my desk for the first time here.
It's weird, isn't it? Yeah, we got you. We got you at actually a normal time. I know. Well, listen,
I know.
Well,
That's on the move too.
Thank you. We always appreciate you coming on. You do such a great job over there, and this is no exception. Talk to me about this Conor McGregor video. When did you first learn about this, and how did you guys, get this story, so to speak?
Yeah, so learned about it yesterday afternoon. So this is not something that we've had for a while. I know sometimes when these are situations that happened months ago, people think that we're sitting on these things. That's never the case. So this thing is something that happened very quickly. Got this video late last night and then, published it shortly after, top of the website in the morning. But just an absolutely insane incident. April 6th in Ireland, in Dublin, just local pub, not a crazy party spot, anything like that. Conor McGregor walks in, wants to buy some shots of his Proper 12 whiskey for some of the guys at the bar. And just one gentleman who is not interested in having whiskey, who was happy with his beer, did not want the Proper 12. And Conor puts an empty cup in front of him. The guy, as you'll see on the video, pushes the cup away. Conor is clearly perturbed, puts another cup in front of the guy. This guy pushes the cup away. And then about 3-4 minutes after that, Conor, while the guy's not looking, just uncorks a straight left right to the side of the guy's face, and some guys grab Conor and take him out of the bar. And shockingly, the fellow at the bar, who I'm told is a 60-something-year-old man, just continued to sit on the bar stool and basically had no reaction.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm going to tell you, Mike, I'm going to be honest. If that's me, I fall to the ground and I pretend like I'm dead. I mean,
I know.
But
I know.
So
that would have been the smart thing to do. But,
make no mistake about it. This is assault. This man is a professional fighter. From what I understand, it's a more serious crime. If you assault somebody and use your skills to that capacity, what if this man is knocked unconscious? What if he dies? I mean, you never know. You never know what.
You knock him unconscious.
Yeah,
he hits his head on the ground. We've seen it before. I mean, we've seen the one punch homicide before, and we've seen stuff like this from people who are far less skilled fighters than Conor, who have really injured, killed people.
I remember, and I remember, Mike, a story when I was a reporter. This was over 10 years ago. At a local casino, a man was heavily drinking. He called an African-American the N-word for no reason. That gentleman punched him in the face, and he died. And that guy actually, believe it or not, that guy didn't go to jail, which is incredible. Wow. Do I feel bad for the guy that called him the N-word? No, probably not. I don't think he deserved to die for it. But
exactly.
But the point I'm trying to make is anything can happen when you physically assault somebody. You never know. So let me ask you this: number one, why is there any information that you got from people in the bar or anybody? Why did he punch this guy in the face? Was there any reason for it?
No, the reason is kind of just what I said there. It's not like there were words exchanged here. From everybody I've talked to, the only thing that happened was that this guy denied a drink of Conor's whiskey, and that's it. And that gesture, for some reason, set Conor off. And then he hauled off and he punched the guy. But there was no fight before. There was no verbal altercation. There was nothing like that happened before to justify Conor getting violent with this guy. But I think there's clearly a string. There's a pattern here. Now, this is only a month after that incident with the fan in Miami where the guy was just taking a picture of Conor, and Conor hit the phone out of the guy's hand and then stomped on that guy's phone. It's only a month later. So 4 weeks afterwards, this is what he does, punches a 60-something-year-old guy in a bar in Ireland.
It's to the point where, I mean, to me, it either sounds like he just has a legitimate mental illness, or he has roid rage. There's something.
There's some anger issue,
there's something going on.
Maybe because he keeps getting away with this. I mean, this one here, the police are still investigating, but let's look at this logically. This thing happened in April. It's on video. It's plain as day assault. So if cops have been investigating this thing, I mean,
how is this possible,
Mike? They were
Mike?
going to arrest him. They were going to arrest him.
How is it possible that you can punch somebody in the face and there's video and you don't get arrested for it? Mike,
look,
why has he not been arrested?
I can speculate. Let's keep in mind Conor is a very wealthy person, and when these situations happen, they have a big checkbook and they can make things right.
Mike, is it possible?
Don't have victims. Look, they could still arrest him. They have, like you say, they have the assault on video. They could arrest him. They could charge him. They could probably convict him. But a lot of times, if there's not a cooperating victim, we don't see these cases pursued. So that's the speculation. I don't have information on that. But, when I see what happened on the surveillance tape that we posted this morning, and I also see that this guy hasn't been arrested, for me, signs point to that there was probably a payout.
Mike, it's starting to kind of come together to me. Like, this could be maybe the first non-football related case of CTE. What he's doing it just seems to get more and more aggressive. It gets more and more impulsive. Do you believe that it's possible that we could see that Conor McGregor has CTE?
I suppose it's possible. Why not? It would be some type of explanation for the behavior, or is it just a crazy person with an anger issue? I don't know, but something is clearly off because this is not behavior that a normal person displays. It's just now there's a pattern. When you look at the thing could be flying across the ocean, going to the Barclays Center, throwing a dolly through a bus window, hurting people, stomping on a fan's phone, punching a 60-something-year-old man. I mean, there's clearly a pattern. It's not a bad decision anymore. There's a pattern here. I think it's fair to label this guy a violent person at this point, unfortunately. Because he's got a lot of fans, and he's a fun guy to watch. I enjoy watching him fight, but personally, not a guy I really want to root for now when I see that this is what he's doing when he's out and he's just hurting innocent people.
No doubt. Well, Mike, I know you guys will continue to stay on top of this story, and we will catch up with you again next week. JD, you had another question?
Yeah, I want to talk about DeMarcus Cousins. He just tore his ACL about 5 minutes ago, or we'll say an hour ago. And
it's tough. I wouldn't be shocked if you never see him back after two devastating injuries. I know he's only 29 years old, but man, you feel bad for him.
Yeah. And it's not so much DeMarcus; it's the fact this makes Kevin Durant's injury that much worse, in my opinion, because it's the exact same thing.
Right, exactly. Look, that's been the fear, right? That it might not be the Achilles necessarily again, but maybe that Achilles injury sets you up for another devastating injury, another ligament down the road. And you're right. I think if you're a Nets fan right now, you probably do have a little bit of pause, and you hope that this is an isolated incident. Right. But from a bunch of doctors who I've heard talk, I mean, I've heard a lot of doctors say that he is at risk for any number of other injuries because of the Achilles. But I do feel bad for Boogie for having to go through this again. It's got to be very frustrating.
Yeah, it's got to be tough for him. But he'll never, if he does come back, he'll certainly never be the player he once was.
No, there's no chance.
We all agree on that. All right, Mr. Babcock. Mr. Babcock, we'll let you. I was going to say we'll let you get back to your desk, but you're already sitting there, so we'll just let you hang up the phone.
I got up and I paced a little bit. I'm sitting again.
Understandable. Hey, we'll let you get back to work, my friend. Thank you so much. We will look forward to catching up with you again next Thursday.
Cool. Thanks, fellas.
All right, there you go.
Thanks a lot, Mikey.
Mike Babcock from TMZ Sports does a fantastic job. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to explain to you why I think the NFL made a big mistake in hiring Jay-Z And also, on the other side, why I think Jay-Z made a big mistake in accepting the position. And guess what? Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend has been very outspoken about this. She's not happy. We'll talk about that coming up next. You're listening to the Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDWN. All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro at our new time slot, 9 a.m. to noon. Certainly, we're all getting used to it. Hopefully you are as well, but we're having a lot of fun doing it, and I'll tell you that. We're getting a lot of reaction from that Steve Sanchez, Mike Lavinati debate in hour number 2. If you missed any of it, we will be posting that audio. JD, do you want to give people the information on where they can find that interview if they missed it today?
Yeah, SoundCloud, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Podbean, everything the Vegas Take.
That's right. And you could learn about Tucker Carlson's jock strap in this interview, Anna Navarro's underwear. Yeah, we'll have all of it in that interview.
And soon to be Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Okay, good. But that was a lot of fun. And of course, check us out on Twitter at The Vegas Take. Hey, I got to promote my own Twitter page. I just opened up my own personal Twitter page. That's right. It's taken me 39 years to do it. Well, wait a second. I don't think they had Twitter 30 years ago, but you get the point I'm trying to make anyway. It is I'm Brian Shapiro. Now, JD wanted me to open up my Twitter account with the name Face for Radio. I said, no, that's an insult. I don't want to do that. Even though I make fun of myself every day, I didn't think that was appropriate, but at least I know where JD stands on my looks, so that's fine. But anyway, I could use some followers. I just opened it up 24 hours ago, so it's I'm Brian Shapiro. So check me out on Twitter and add me as friends because I need more friends. I'm so lonely. I need Twitter friends. So please follow me. And, of course, at the Vegas Take page is our Twitter as well. And that's where we'll be posting all the audio and stuff. I'll post it on my page as well.
For everything pro-Trump, go to I'm Brian Shapiro Twitter.
Yeah, that's definitely a lie. That's not true. I want to talk a little bit about the NFL. I think this is a big story in regards to they hired Jay-Z, if you haven't heard. And I was a little surprised by this for a number of different reasons. First of all, with all the issues that the NFL is facing, whether you agree with it or not, when it comes to the kneeling and all that stuff, I didn't think they would hire Jay-Z to do it. Jay-Z certainly has been on the side of Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling and all that other stuff. So here's why I think it's a bad decision both ways. First of all, for the NFL to hire Jay-Z, I think it's a big mistake on their side of things. I think it's a bad business move, even though JD has an enormous following. And on the other side of things, Jay-Z is taking a lot of flack on social media. And one of those people that has given him a lot of flack is Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend, Nessa. She just went absolutely crazy on Jay-Z, firing back at the rap mogul for working with the NFL. She called it disgusting and disappointing. She said, "We will never turn our backs on Kaepernick because your idols decided to work with the same organization that is actively keeping Colin unemployed, all because he peacefully protested against social injustice in black and brown communities, specifically police brutality." I don't want to get deep into this issue, but first of all, let me say this. I don't think you are a son of a bitch, as Donald Trump described many of these players for kneeling. I think many of these players, their hearts are in the right place. They're trying to do the right thing, and a lot of them are doing more than kneeling. But many of them are not profiting off the kneeling. Colin Kaepernick has profited. Make no mistake about it. He is a second-rate quarterback, and he has profited off the football field. That's number one.
And he has profited the most.
Yes. Number two, when you wear a Fidel Castro suit and you wear pig socks that depict all police officers as pigs, you lose credibility, period. Number three, how many police officers or police sergeants, police chiefs has Colin Kaepernick spoken to in closed-door meetings? How many politicians has Colin Kaepernick spoken to? So this idea that Colin Kaepernick is some sort of hero is nonsense. There are plenty of players in the NFL and coaches that have done a hell of a lot more than Colin Kaepernick has, and guess what? They haven't gotten multi-million-dollar deals from Nike to do it either. It is nonsense.
But what he has done is had a lot of closed-door meetings with Nike and major sponsors and advertisers. He basically single-handedly dropped the NFL's ratings by 20% last year because the average fan watches the game as an escape. Mm-hmm. They don't want to get reminded of what's going on in the world at football games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And by the way,
they're not thinking about race or issues or situations. They just want to watch a football game and appreciate what's on the screen in front of them.
I think there are better
wager.
I've been pretty consistent on this opinion. I think there are better platforms or better ways to talk about social injustice than to kneel at an NFL game. I think they have the platforms to do it in other ventures, and I will even give Colin Kaepernick I guess I'll give him what's the word I'm looking for? I'll give him credit
Benefit
for
of the doubt?
Yeah, the benefit. Exactly. Thank you. The benefit of the doubt when he started this thing, but I certainly questioned the timing of it. I questioned the fact that he was a backup quarterback when he did it. He didn't do it when he was a Super Bowl quarterback. I questioned the timing of it, and there's a lot of questions surrounding Colin Kaepernick. I do understand what the premise of this is, but this is a part of it that I don't understand, JD, and maybe you could help me with this. Unless you're a blatant racist, beyond complicit, you understand that there are major issues in this country involving racism, social injustice, and it's been going on for a long time. We all understand that. So what exactly is Colin Kaepernick doing? Raising the issue. Well, what has been done? What has been done? He hasn't gone to Washington. He hasn't spoken to law enforcement. Have laws changed? No. So stop calling Colin Kaepernick a hero. To me, it's just absolute nonsense.
He's trying to poison the pure thing that is American football is what he's trying to do.
I mean, we only got a couple minutes here, but I'll take a few phone calls on this because maybe somebody out there, maybe you disagree with what I'm saying. I'm sure a lot of people do. But the GCI Phone Guys hotline, if you want to be a part of this discussion quickly here in our last segment, the number is 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation is 257-5396.
And if Jay-Z didn't own Rock Nation, a sports agency, would this deal be taking place?
Probably not.
Absolutely not.
Kaepernick's girlfriend, Nessa, also went on to say, so really, how can Jay-Z and the NFL utter social justice in their partnership while keeping Colin unemployed because of his social justice work?
They're not keeping Colin unemployed. Colin Kaepernick is not good enough to be a quarterback in the NFL. He could easily be a defensive end or a tight end, and he's had opportunities to play at smaller levels like arena football, etc., to show that he can still play the position.
He's had NFL tryouts as well.
Exactly. He's had plenty of opportunities. He just isn't good enough. I mean, the guy led the league in fumbles his last year. And did this social injustice start at that point? No, it started after the fact.
Yeah. Let's squeeze in a couple calls here. 257-5396. Let's go to Mike. Mike, what do you think about all this?
What's up, Mike?
All right, Mike. Okay, Mike, so here's my opinion as a black man, African-American man. Colin Kaepernick represents everything positive, everything courageous. As far as your opinion about his qualities, his skills as a football player, if you never played football, you can't even make. I don't even know how you can make that judgment. The guy.
Whoa! Because
okay, let me finish saying what I'm saying. All right, your opinion. You don't think he's an honorable guy. You think he's in for the money. Look, the guy got blackballed out of the NFL because he did what every American has the right to do: express their First Amendment constitutional rights, right?
Right,
so
by doing that,
let me say this one thing. I'm gonna let you talk. Okay, so all the people, especially people of non-melanated people, they look at him and say, "Well, he's not patriotic because he took a knee." I was in the military.
I didn't say that.
Right? Well, I'm just saying that's the narrative. That
okay.
He's not.
Mike, let me ask you a question because we're up against the clock here. I want to keep you on the line, okay, sir?
All right.
I respect your opinion, but in my opinion, what you said in regards to describing Colin Kaepernick, if you're talking about a very serious issue, and we all can agree this is a serious issue, you cannot wear a Fidel Castro shirt and be. Why not? Because Fidel Castro killed millions of people.
So, hey, listen.
That's not a role model.
Okay, wait a minute. The point he was making was not that he was a role model. Okay, Castro and Colin Kaepernick, I think what he was trying to at that time, and I can't really remember exactly the purpose of it, but the guy basically at the time was so much heated rhetoric in the country with Trump, the orange-headed idiot, calling them bastards and telling them they should throw them.
Which I don't agree with.
And then you also had people this blasting this guy. The guy had referred to an Army veteran who he.
I understand, hey, Mike. I understand, Mike. I understand what you're saying, Mike. But
he is a hero. He is a hero to African American men.
What has he done? What has he done besides? Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish the question.
That's what he did.
Okay. Excuse me, but going down on a knee, to me, in my personal opinion, is not enough. Now, he has donated money to charity. Do you understand that there are plenty of players in the NFL that have gone to Washington and spoke to politicians. They've spoken to local law enforcement. Colin Kaepernick has not done any of those things, and he's signed.
You really don't know. You really
No,
don't
we
know
do.
what he's done.
No, we do.
Okay.
We do.
So
There's not one police officer in this country that has said that they've spoken to Colin Kaepernick. There is not
why
one
do they have
politician.
to?
There
What
is
is-
not one
what is-
politician that he's spoken to.
Well, that's okay. The guy he has.
No, it's not
other
okay.
Voices.
You know,
Maybe
and
he's
Mike,
not-
Mike,
maybe
you
he's
mentioned,
not-
Mike, you
maybe
mentioned
he's
that
just not a
that he's
guy.
blackballed from the
Maybe he's a
league.
guy.
Mike, he's not.
Okay, you guys are both talking at the same time. We can't do a radio show like that.
Mike, he's not blackballed from the league. These teams, if they don't believe that he is good for their product, that that they think he's losing them money, they have every right
So it's Eli
not to
Manning.
sign him to their
Eli,
team.
I'm a Giant fan.
That's
right?
fair.
Eli Manning is a great quarterback, but he's washed up right now. So you're telling me Eli Manning's better than Colin Kaepernick?
I'll tell you what we're going to do, Mike, because I got to get to a couple other calls. I want you to call back tomorrow, and I want to give you.
I will.
Oh, no,
I love your show.
Listen,
I love
Mike.
your
Thanks a
show.
lot, Mike.
Mike, make no mistake about it. I am not ending this call because I think it's a great
No,
call.
I love your show.
Thank
I
you,
love your
Mike.
show, man.
Thank you, Mike. Promise me you'll call us tomorrow. I want to give you more time
will.
because this is a very
I love
interesting.
your show.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. I want you to call back tomorrow, my friend, because I think it's a great conversation. I'm going to squeeze in 2 more calls, but unfortunately, I'm only going to give you guys about 30 seconds because we got to go. Let's go to Brian. Brian, go ahead.
Colin Kaepernick is a prima donna, in my opinion. Number one, his so-called social justice thing was preceded by the 4 guys in St. Louis, the Rams that did the hands up, don't shoot, years before Kaepernick took a knee.
Yeah.
And it was for the same purpose, and it was based on a lie, just like Colin Kaepernick is supporting Black Lives Matter, which is also based on a lie. So he might be a hero to some African-American men, but they're misinformed African-American men.
Brian, I think that is an interesting thing that you brought up there. And you know what? I don't entirely disagree with you either. I tell you, maybe we should get Brian and that last gentleman on the line at the same time. I think it'd be a really good conversation. Brian, thank you for the call. Let's go quickly.
Great call, Brian.
Steve, I got about 30 seconds for you, my man. Go ahead.
What's up, Steve?
Yeah, hey, I'm just wondering if you believe he's just doing this for the publicity, why are you giving him more publicity? I heard you say the same statement.
I'll answer
a bunch
that
of times this week, which I completely agree with. I'm just
I'll
tired
answer
of
it.
hearing about him.
I'll answer. There's a lot of people that I talk about on this show that we talk about that I don't like, but we still bring it up, not because we want to give them free publicity, but because it is an important subject to discuss and talk about and debate. Just because I'm talking about somebody doesn't mean I'm trying to give them free publicity. This is a very, very important subject.
To answer the question, there was a recent development with his situation, and that's why he was brought
and
up.
it involves Jay-Z and the NFL. This is a very important subject. Just because we talk about, listen, I talk about Donald Trump all the time. It doesn't mean I'm trying to get people to vote for him. It's because I dislike Donald Trump, Steve.
I didn't say you were giving it to him purposely or that you agreed with him.
Well,
I'm
I think
just saying,
I understand. I understand what you're saying, Steve. I understand, Steve. But you say let's move on. We have a story that just came out today involving Jay-Z. Anyways, we got to go. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Check us out on Twitter @TheVegasTake. Same time, same place tomorrow, folks. 9 a.m. to noon. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.